this is a man who we better be careful about. And I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask the Justice Department and I'm going to ask the president to tell us what they're going to do to protect this country against violence if he loses. I want to know about all of those right-wing organizations that he's connected with who are training up in the hills somewhere and targeting, what communities they're going to attack.
So if Donald Trump doesn't win the 2024 election, Trump supporters are, quote, hiding in the hills, training to attack our democracy, says loony Auntie Maxine. By the way, Maxine Waters also called on the DOJ to investigate this made-up threat in her head. It's an amazing statement and filled with irony, but watch our Vice President, Kamala Harris, use the same fabricated threat.
Just pull up a split screen. And on the one side, in President Biden and our administration, you see competence. You see a steady hand. You see someone who cares about the American people, and we have gone about solving problems. On the other hand, you can see complete chaos. The former president has openly praised dictators and said he'll be a dictator on day one. The former president has said that he will come back and essentially weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies.
Kamala Harris has the audacity to say that if Trump is reelected, he would do exactly what her administration is doing to their top political rival right now. As well, we say here, the left is accusing their opponent of what they themselves are guilty of in therapy. And boy, oh boy, you need therapy after covering the swamp for as long as I have. It's called projecting. The left projects its own faults onto the backs of their opponent, in this case, Donald Trump. Former president even is willing to go to jail for his First Amendment, our First Amendment rights.
This judge has given me a gag order and said you'll go to jail if you violate it. And frankly, you know what? Our Constitution is much more important than jail. It's not even close. I'll do that sacrifice any day.
Do you hear that? Our Constitution is much more important than jail. I'll do that sacrifice any day, says the former president. Does that sound like a dictator to you? That, by definition, is what true leadership is. Unfortunately, the left's framing of Trump being a dictator doesn't stop with Kamala Harris and Maxine Waters. Watch the brilliant host over at MSNBC describe this dark Trump threat to our democracy.
We have a Constitution that rounds off the sharp edges because they respect the guardrails of American democracy.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is unique in the fact that he does not. And I've just got to say again, it is as John said, I'm a conservative guy from Northwest Florida, and there are progressives on the other side. We agree that we're at a moment right now where we all need to come together and protect this democracy, protect this Constitution.
Morning Joe says we're at a moment right now where we all need to come together and protect this democracy. But what democracy is Joe talking about? The one right now where a sitting president is trying to jail his top political opponent, the one who's beating him in the polls, or the one before Joe Biden when the Department of Justice was about just that, justice. And of course, America was a peace. It's an interesting and bizarre assessment, to say the least, by Scarborough. But, of course, the hysteria over at MSNBC continues because, let's be honest, they can't help themselves.
Trumpism is not a novel idea. The movement he ushered in is in line with the Republican Party's Southern strategy, a long-term plan developed in response to the civil rights movement that sought to exploit white Southerners' racial anxieties.
Oh, says MSNBC's Ali Velshi. You remember old Ali, right? He was the guy who claimed the 2020 riots were mostly peaceful while he was standing amongst them just moments before he gets shot with a rubber bullet.
There is no ability to bring anybody in here to solve this problem. So I want to be clear in how I characterize this. This is mostly a protest. It is not, generally speaking, unruly, but fires have been started.
Just after that, Ali Velshi gets shot with a rubber bullet. You know, Ali, turn in your journalism card. You are not a journalist.